grow, makes us stronger, and it's something that we need to learn. A different way to look at the word fail is letters could actually stand for first attempt learning. We actually need to fail more sometimes in order to get better, make progress with many things in life, including print on demand. To give you an analogy for this, for an example from real life, when you go to the gym and you're trying to get stronger or build muscle, what you do to your muscle is you make it fail on purpose. Lift heavy weights until the point of failure, until you can't lift them further. And what this does to your muscles is it actually pushes them to grow stronger and grow bigger for the next time around, for the next time where they have to lift that heavy weight. Do this long enough, your muscles are going to grow, are going to get stronger. So your purpose.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. What's going on, guys? Hey, welcome back. Nothing like a little video on failure to start off our day for for being absent for so long. Hey, guess who? New streamer. Good to see you guys. As you can tell, it's very dark in my room. I don't have all my lights on because my room is a complete disaster right now. I've got like a bunch of boxes on my desk behind me. There's shit all over the floor. I'm telling you, not literal shit like I've been dealing with this past couple of weeks, but just a bunch of crap. So I'm just saying that. It could be Nord going live. Yes, it is me. I'm back. Welcome back. I wonder who this new streamer is. Apparently Phil Anderson thinks he is Nord now. Yeah, I should have just put him on and been like, this is the new Nord. But this caught my eye as I was coming on, and it's so weird when I see, I wonder if I can restart this. Hold on. Let's see. Yeah, perfect. So I saw this and I was like, fail. That's exactly how I feel right now. So basically, yeah, man, I've been gone for, it feels like 2 weeks. It really does. It feels like I've been out of here for like 2 weeks, man. And things have just been weird, and a lot of crap has been happening. Definitely a pun intended there. Almost took that literally. Would have understood. Yeah, when I said there's shit all over the floor. We're gonna get to that story in a moment. You know, honestly, I know I kept you guys updated on a couple of things that were going on, or kind of vaguely, but semi information there on Discord. For those of you who aren't following Discord, I think it's on my bio somewhere. But yeah, man, I can't even remember the last week as far as like what has been going on. There's just been a lot of stuff that I've had to been paying attention to, and things were just not good. My health suffered a little bit. I was not feeling 100%. I wasn't sleeping very well either. And in fact, when I started sleeping well, then other shit happened, and I had to stay awake even more. In fact, last night was the first night I was able to actually get some sleep. I think I got a good 6 or 7 hours. But before that, I was running on like 48 hours, 4 hours of sleep within 48 hours, which was not fun. So I'll tell you that for those of you that have not kept up with what's going on. But basically, my dog I guess the end of last week, about Thursday or Friday or so, started having he's just started going to the bathroom a lot, and we couldn't understand why. It's just he just all of a sudden got a stomach bug or something, and he was just taking care of, just leaving it on the floor in the middle of the night. He sleeps in my daughter's room, so the first night that it happened, it was in my daughter's room, and it was a big pile, man. So thankfully it was on the floor. She doesn't have carpet. We have no carpet in this house except for some area rugs, which one of them was destroyed, but that's another conversation. And yeah, man, waking up like at 4 in the morning, or I think it was like 3 in the morning, to actually clean that stuff up was really bad. And yeah, I mopped the floor, cleaned it up, threw it out right away. It's disgusting. And then we thought, okay, this is a one-time thing. Maybe they forgot to take him out the night before. And I usually take him out, but I think that night I was busy working on some stuff, and they were supposed to take him out, and maybe they did not before they put him to bed. So that's how it started. And then the next day, it was like he needed to go out. Like he was out more often. And then we noticed it was like, pretty much getting looser and looser, let's just say. And I was like, what the hell, man? This dog's going on. And he wants to go out all the time. And he wasn't going every time he went out, he didn't actually go per se. But he by the way, why am I still on this screen? Sorry about that. Wrong button there. Give me 1 second. So while we were throughout the day, it was like he just wanted to be out. So the next night, my other daughter decided, I'll watch him, I'll keep him in my room. And of course, it happened again. And I had to wake up in the middle of the night again and take care of it, take him out. And then for the rest of the night, it's like taking him out and watching him and so forth. So the next day throughout the day was the same thing. So this became a theme. And of course, we're already in talk with our vet. Our vet is actually a family, is part of the family. So we're in conversation with them, what's going on. They're like, just keep an eye on him, give him some Pepto-Bismol. He might be all right. We'll get a sample and test it and whatnot. And we were afraid that he had eaten some rabbit poop, because there's a rabbit that runs wild in our yards. And from time to time, obviously it leaves its little trail behind. And so the dog thinks they're like food pellets. And if he finds them, he'll try to eat them. And most of the time I'm out there with him because, we have to clean up his poop. But there have been times where he finds them and he's like, ooh, a snack. And that's terrible, but they can get parasites from that. And it's happened before. So I had two fears. One, when your dog has like the never ending shits, because let's call it what it is, it's one of two things. Either he's got a parasite or he got into some chocolate. And chocolate is poisonous for freaking dogs. So we don't have any chocolate in the house, so that couldn't have been it unless the kids brought it home and left it in the room on the floor. So I'm thinking that was okay. And we were worried that it was a parasite thing. And finally got it tested. It was fine. It was not parasites. Still don't know what it is, but we got him some medication. Yesterday he started the meds and he's a lot better. So last night I actually slept in the living room, slept this time, but with him next to me, and there were no accidents. He did wake up at one point and wanted to go out to pee or something, and I took him out and he was fine. And there was no accidents. Everything was fine. I think he woke up early at like 6 a.m. and that's when I took him out. So I think he's on the mend, which is good, because we're about to take a road trip and he's coming with us. So we don't want that happening in the car. But yeah, man, it's been crazy. And with that, I have not been able to sit for a prolonged period of time at my computer and do work or stream or really game. I've had to be like in the living room with him, or just around him. And I actually rolled up any area rugs that we had, because there was some little bit of disaster on one of them. I tried to clean it. It still looks like crap. So I might have to throw that one out. My wife's really pissed because it cost a little bit of money. So we might end up replacing that one. I told her, just get the cheap ones, the ones that are washable, that look nice. That's what I got in my room. So maybe, if it gets messed up, you just wash it and it's fine. But these other area rugs, when they get damaged, we can't really wash them or like scrub water on them, because then the texture of them gets all like stiff and hard. It's really bad. So that was that. But let me tell you, man, my mind has just been mush because of I'm used to no sleep. I'm used to 4 hours a night. I could sleep for 4 hours and be fine. But when I only get like 4 hours of sleep in 48 hours and going even higher than that, that's when it becomes a problem for me. And that's when I'm starting like, okay, I'm feeling really crazy. And I couldn't do anything. If I would have came on stream, I would have been like, hey guys, how's it going? Basically how I am every day, but a little worse. I was worried at first because the symptoms were similar to what my brother's dog went through. Didn't want to mention that on Discord, so not to worry you. No worries, man. I mean, I had similar question marks, and I was a little bit concerned. There was a couple of things that came to mind that could be, and we just kept on it. He's a young dog. And so far he's had a good, bill of health, so he's been fine. He's only like, he's not even 2 years old yet. I think he's like a year and a half. So the kind of, I was concerned. And you guys already know this. He's like my little buddy. He's like my little son to me, which is weird because I've never felt that way about any dog. And so my wife and my kids are like, kind of like, you really love this dog. I'm like, he's my buddy. And so, I was a little bit concerned. So thankfully, I think he's on the mend. Everything's good. I got cleaning people in the house today, and he's hanging out with my oldest daughter, which is home for the week. And he's in the back room, so he's good. He's actually hasn't been whining or wanting to go out. He's fine. I've taken him out a couple of times. I've opened the door. His thing is this. I think he's mute because he does bark, but I'm saying when he has to go, he doesn't let you know. He just walks up to you and just stands there and stares at you like this. That's what he does. It's like, he just stares at you like, hey man, I gotta go. And then so I look at him and I'm like, you have to go outside? And then he looks at me, he shakes his head, and then he starts shaking. He shakes his head. That's what he does that every single time. And so I'm like, all right, he has to go out. So I get up, I walk towards the back door. And as soon as if I open it and he runs out, that means he has to go. If I open it and he just stares at it, that's not it. He wants a snack. So that's kind of like, I can tell when he comes up to me and he just sits there and stares at me, I'm like, he's got to go. And it's usually like pee or something, but he's been fine. So he keeps bothering me. So he makes me get up from my desk a lot. But this, like I said, I couldn't concentrate on anything. I did get to play a lot of Baldur's Gate 3 on my laptop when I was in the living room. So I'm hold on. Oh, they're vacuuming in case you can hear that. Yeah, so I was playing Baldur's Gate 3. I finally got to Act 3. And let me tell you, that's actually probably the best part of the game. Well, the end of Act 2 was pretty good. But Act 3 is starting, like, now it's ramping up. It's ramping up. So for those of you that have gotten into Act 2 and are like, this is getting bored or whatever, just get through it. Act 3 is really it's where it's at. Now I have to say this. What I was I guess I don't know. I guess I should say this. So far I just got into Baldur's Gate. The actual, I guess it's the town, I think. And I think it's Baldur's Gate. Maybe it's the outsides of it. But anyway, it's so freaking chaotic as far as how many freaking NPCs there are around. Some you need, some you don't. And it's just like, it's a mess. So be prepared. If you have ADHD, or be prepared to be like, huh? What's over there? Wait. That's how I felt. That's definitely how I felt. So he's the perfect dog for me then. Yes, he is. What's up, Hyde? What's going on? By the way, hey, Guino, hey, Brink. Did not mean to ignore you guys. I know I usually say hello to you first, but we just rolled into this. And so that's why I said there's a bunch of shit on my floor behind me, but I didn't mean literal shit. There's just a lot of junk because I've been cleaning out some other areas. My dog has been stressed with the construction going on in our house. He barks his head off all day. Oh, man. I'm sorry. My dog used to bark his head off whenever the cleaning people came over. And so I had to introduce them. So now he knows them. So he's okay with them being here. Otherwise, it was just nonstop. But it's kind of difficult. If I had somebody working here in my house that I didn't really know, I don't think I would let my dog get to know them. Because you don't know. You know what I mean? It's like that whole thing of, if they befriend your dog, then what if they break into your house and then your dog's like, oh, I know them, they're cool. So it's kind of I pick and choose that stuff. But that sucks, man. Dog being stressed out in this construction. Try to let him out as much as possible, I would guess. Then after a while, she had a bad seizure, found out the dog, your brother's dog had a bad seizure, found out she had a tumor on her brain that caused the need to go reaction. Worse, she had to be put down. Oh, I'm so sorry, man. That's horrible. I've been watching too many doctor shows lately, and I hate watching them because of the fact that every time I see them, there's always episodes where people are fine and all of a sudden they go to the doctor for one thing and it turns out they have something that's freaking terminal and they have to like do surgery and it's very touch and go. And I'm just like, oh my, I don't want to wish that on myself, knock on wood, a big giant wood piece of furniture I have in front of me. But I always feel like I'm always paranoid or anxious that something's gonna be wrong with me one day, and I'm just be like, how the hell did we not know this before? I don't know. I'm sure we all have that kind of fear sometimes. Maybe not, but I think about that sometimes. I'm like, well, I'm gaining weight, so I know I don't have the big C. I'm okay. But wait, I'm gaining weight. What does that mean? Something else? When I have a thyroid issue? No, I don't. I've had a blood panel check, so I'm okay. I gotta tell you a doctor story in a second. Let me read a couple of these. After a while, you're ramping up on Conan by yourself? I'm so sorry, bro. I tried to play Conan the other day. I just called you bro. And I guess with all the mods and all, I was so lost. I couldn't even figure out how to craft a simple campfire. And I was like, I just didn't have the mind for it. So I'm like, I'll do this later. So I just couldn't really get into it. Hyde is going to play. She's in meetings, but then she'll be there soon. Nice. Bronk with the name change. You will always be Bronk. Don't try to change his name. He's trying to promote himself. Give him a chance. By the way, if you need anybody in UI design and other fabulous things like that, anything that has to do with design and computers, you want to reach out to this gentleman here named James. So look out for him. I know he's putting himself out there. He's prostituting himself. I mean, now, isn't that, can you say that? Is that not, I don't mean it in a sexual way. He's putting himself out there. Not in that way. I'm just, for work, not that kind of work. That's all I'm saying. Oh shit, I'm gonna get a any minute now. I forgot he was on this account. Oh, never mind. So he's not promoting himself. He's not putting himself out there. Let's see. We're getting new siding on the whole house and full mini split heat and AC system. Working from home has been interesting the last 2 weeks. I can imagine. Whew. Oh, okay. There's Brink. I have no idea who the guy James was. I have no idea. We have no idea who that guy was. Just ignore that guy. He's nobody. He's nobody special. Yeah, makes you wonder, would they have had a better end of life if they didn't know? Yeah, I don't know, man. That's the thing. It's like, that's a good question, Guido. So if something was terminally wrong with you, like in other words, if you had something wrong with you that was going to shorten your life, would you want to know? I don't know. That's a good question. I've been uploading YouTube videos from my class assignments on my personal account. I saw that. I haven't had my coffee, so I totally didn't realize I was on the wrong account. Bro, if I was on the wrong account, that would be a bad thing. Hello, it is me. Doesn't matter though. Conan is a bit overwhelming. I have no idea what I'm doing with all the mods. Like, yeah, I'm the same way. Come to my base. We're clanned up. Guys have full access. Yeah, I mean, if I ever get up to it, I will. I probably won't be playing for a while. Anything, really. Anything that's on my laptop, I might be able to play. I think the term is pimping. Self-employed. He's pimping himself out. It's not prostituting. Okay, got it. If he's pimping himself out for work, that's not of the sexual nature. He's pimping himself out. If you say he's prostituting himself, then that's a sexual nature. Okay. I don't think Brink is doing that. I could be wrong. I mean, he might have an OnlyFans page that we don't know about. Just Bronk. But I mean, or only Bronk. This is what happens when Bronk has been looking at job postings all morning and no coffee. Oh, I found something that I'm going to try I gotta share with you. I think it's a scam though, but I gotta double check. I saw something on social media when I was scrolling through from the couch, and it said remote jobs for introverts, and I was like, that's me. And they were like Apple, Microsoft, FedEx, UPS, and there was another one. And they, oh wait, what was the other one? I can't remember. Can't remember what the other one was. Anyways, but what they were like customer support or tech support or data entry, stuff like that. And they had websites for you to sign up. And they were like, supposedly they're not very popular, like people don't know about them. And so I'm like, huh. And so I screenshotted all the sites. But when I read them, you know how like when you create a website, you can add an extension to the end. And so basically you have like a subdomain. And so I can't remember the order, the reverse order. Like let's say it's apple.com, then they have a sub website. Would it be, let's say if it was careers, would it be careers.apple.com? Or would it be something else? And so that's where I was kind of like, is this real or not? So anyways, I was going to check it out. I'll look at it in a moment and see. I got a doctor story to tell you in a second. And then we got some internet news here and some stuff going on that I wanted to talk about as well. This is not going to be too long of a stream today. I have an appointment at 1 o'clock. I have a lunch appointment with my sister. So I'm going to be heading over there, but I'm okay. We're okay right now. So maybe we'll have about 30, 45 minutes. I'm trying not to do the scum rant today though, because I definitely do want to do that. Whoa, dude, my mom says I'm special. I think you're really special. You are super special. And they have special activities for you in the world, out and about. There's a phone number you can call. All right, so no, the impending doom would be torture. Uh-oh. Yeah, not knowing. Oh, or knowing? Wait, would you want to know? And you said no, you wouldn't want to know. Oh, I guess you're right. I mean, if you knew, but wouldn't you want to like plan things out? I know we're having so many conversations here, but if there was something wrong with me and my life was going to be shortened, I almost feel like I'd want to have like no, so I can plan a bunch of things out, like get a bucket list. Then again, I think we all should be working on our bucket list, regardless. Yeah, but that James guy is looking for work in user interface, user experience design, interaction design, motion design, digital product design. And yeah, there's that many job titles that are all basically design, the same thing. Makes job searches real fun. Ah, I'm sorry, bro. Not a visual I needed. Sorry. Oh, my boss is giggling at the face I made in my meeting. It's always fun. I remember the time that I don't know if I was dying a lot in Scum and you were having a meeting, a serious meeting, and you just couldn't held it in. And you were like reacting during your meeting. Those were the days. Those subdomains just depend on their information architecture, I guess. Yes. One in chat if you want to see Scum rants. No, not today. I have to record that. It's going to be a long one. It's going to be a long one before we're finished. I do know, and I am good. Oh. Hide. You are good. None of us have a guarantee to make it to the end of the day anyways. Yes, they loved it when you died. I know that's right. Yeah, we don't have a guarantee. That's what I'm saying. I think live each day to your fullest, right? I think that's the plan. That's the idea. Live each day like it's your last. But that doesn't mean go and do criminal stuff. Because there's some people who are like, oh, if I knew I was dying today, I'd go and do a bunch of bad things. I'd rob a bank. Do all the bad things I've always wanted to do. No, that's not what I mean. Live each day like it's your last, meaning enjoy life. Do something that you love, you know, as long as you don't hurt anybody else or yourself, right? That's the rule. The one, oh my God. No, there's only 2 ones. I'm not going to do the rant. We might talk about it. We'll see. All right. So, real doctor question, real doctor story, real quick. Why did you rob this bank? Nord said so. Great. You see, I did not say. I said make a bucket list, and a legal bucket list. We'll talk about a couple of things that people do that I think it's like stupidest thing. I don't know why they do them, but supposedly I had a doctor's appointment today, and I didn't go to it because I had canceled it. They had called and confirmed it last week, or to confirm it, and I didn't confirm. You know, you get those automated calls, like press 1 to confirm. And then I waited to see if it said press 2 to not or anything, and it didn't say anything. And I'm like, okay, well, as long as I don't press 1, I guess that means I didn't confirm. So I didn't press 1, and I just hung up. So then this week I got another call, and it said the same thing. And it said press 1 to confirm that you will be attending your visit or your appointment. And I didn't press anything. And I waited to see if there was another option. No other option. So I hung up, and I'm like, all right, I didn't confirm. I don't have to show up. And then I get a phone call yesterday letting me know, hey, you have an appointment tomorrow. Just make sure that we see you and you come early. I'm like, no. I don't have an appointment tomorrow. I did not confirm because your phone call, automated phone call last week said press 1 to confirm, and I didn't press 1. But you had no other option, so I just hung up. They're like, oh. And I said, and I got the same call this week, and I did the same thing. I didn't press 1 to confirm, so I have no appointment. They're like, oh, okay. And why did you not confirm? And I'm like, well, because they usually don't ask. They're usually like, do you like to, reschedule? And so I told them, I'm like, listen, so the doctors that run this place, I've known them for 20 years before I became a patient of theirs. So I knew them when they started building this facility, and they've taken over the entire building. So when I told them, I'll tell you why. So my wife has been going there for the longest time, and she has a doctor assigned to her, obviously. And she recommended her to me. She says, you need a new doctor. Why don't you use her? She's really good, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, I don't know. She's like, she's really good. You should do it. And I'm like, fine. So I did. So remember when I was having all those issues and I was like having to deal with some health issues? Well, that was because of that doctor that put a freaking scare in me. And then I saw her once. I think I saw her a second time. And then after that, before the results of everything that was going on were ready and I was supposed to see her again within 6 months, I got a call telling me that she was no longer taking new patients and she was only going to keep a certain amount of patients of her existing patients. So my wife was one of them. I was not. So because I was a newer patient, she had decided to drop me, and they were passing me on to somebody else. So your next appointment will be with, I don't know, some person. I can't remember their name. And I'm like, oh, okay. And I was looking forward to it because I was like, well, I'm going to go over the results of all this crap that I've been going through and that they've wanted me to take care of and are worried about. So I was very interested in going to whoever it is that was going to see me. So let me finish the story and then I'll read what you guys wrote here. So in doing that, I went to the appointment. Person that I saw, it wasn't that they were bad or anything, that they weren't a good doctor. It's just that they were just temporary. They were an urgent care doctor that was filling in to see me and some of the other patients that were not being seen by that original doctor anymore. So it was a temporary doctor. And she told me that. And she says, because then she said that you'll follow up in 6 months with this other person. I'm like, wait a second, I thought you were my new doctor. And she's like, no, I'm just temporary, and you'll see this other person. I'm like, is that going to be my new doctor? Like, why didn't I see them now? And they're like, I'm not sure. And I'm like, what the fuck? And so here I am, like, they're telling me, luckily my results were good. Everything was looking better. I was okay. They told me what I should be watching out for. But then I was supposed to come back 6 months to see somebody else. And I was not happy about that. So I decided, you know what, forget it. I'm done. I'm like, okay, no problem. they went ahead and made the appointment, even though I said no. And that's what happened. So I was going to see some whole new doctor. And that's what I told them. I'm like, listen, I've known these doctors for 20 years. I go to their dentist, which is their brother, for about 14 years or 18. And I just don't like the way I was treated. You know, it's like kind of like I had something semi-serious going on and I just got passed over to someone else temporarily. And now I'm being passed over to someone else again, possibly temporarily. This is not the way I need a doctor that's consistent. I need someone that's going to grow with me and know my history and know what's going on and take care of me. But that's not what's happening. So that's kind of what happened. And I was like, yeah, no, we're not doing that. I think I'm okay right now. So I'm looking for a new doctor, basically. I just found out one of my old time friends is actually a nurse practitioner. So I may have to call her and be like, hey, where are you at? We'll see. Anyways, Granny's always said every day you wake up, breathing is a good one and blessing on its own. Be grateful and don't worry the worries. That's a smart saying. I like that. By the way, still hear the freaking vacuum behind me. Every time I talk, I hear it on my mic. No typing one. Stop it. My granny always said she'd hold me down till the bubbles stopped coming up. I like your granny. Born again uncle used to love to tell me I was going to hell. Granny laughed and said, the Lord ain't ready and the devil don't want her because he knows she'd take over. Leave my baby be. Nice. I always have to, every time I read stuff from Hyde, I always think it's like with a southern accent. I don't know why. She was correct. Either place I end up. Well, I think I know why, but that's just what I do. She was correct. Either place I end up, I'm running the show. Nice. That's pretty much true. All right, so let's talk about a couple of things that I came across. Guess this would be a good place to start. You know how we're always bashing, like everyone's bashing Kick, saying, well, Kick is the Kick stream platform is like the Wild West. Everything goes there. They can do whatever they want. Well, not exactly so. So this kid, which I can't stand, and I'm ashamed that I know of him only because I watched a YouTube that talked about all the bad streamers, like bad. So this kid got kicked from Kicked. He got suddenly banned on Kick. His name is Neon. And what he does some, I think he does a lot of pranking stuff and things along that lines. He's actually, I believe, gotten his butt kicked a couple of times from people that he tries to prank on. And he's just always causing drama. It's just a very bad platform. And there's a handful of guys that do this. And in fact, I found a YouTube video, I wish I would have saved it, that showed six or eight different streamers that have either gotten the crap beat out of them or have gotten injured because of doing pranks. And there's a couple that are like really known. And I'm just like, I can't stand this. This is the whole, do you remember back in like 2013, maybe 2014, when the kids would go into stores and knock everything down and record it and pretend like they fell, or they would scare like a grandmother by throwing like something next to her or something. It was kind of pranked that they were trying to get reactions of other people by causing damage to somebody else's property or just being a nuisance in public. That's basically what this is. And this has grown into something that even there are some young adults that are growing up, watch this, and they thought, it's what I want to do because they'll get lots of views. Anyways, before I get into that, this guy, the whole point I brought this is that we've always thought that the Kick platform was going to be like the Wild West. Anything that couldn't go on Twitch would go there. Well, they have rules too. And so basically, I was like, do they really have guidelines? And they actually do. And so when I looked up their guidelines, they're not very different from what we're used to and seeing in other platforms. And so they're definitely trying to do the right thing. Obviously, guidelines like have pornography, violence, and hate speech. I mean, these are the ones we're all familiar with: false sensationalism, doxing, botting, fraud and deception. You know, there's a lot. Compliant channels. You know, make sure that you label things at 18 and over. Self-destructive behavior is wrong. Terrorism, obviously, protection of minors. Gambling, even though they have gambling, they do have gambling, but there's still a guideline to it. Adult's body, which I don't know how they follow that one, but they do. Game hacking and so forth. So how they enforce policies is also there. I'm not going to read all through this, but I wanted to point out that they actually do have guidelines. Now you'll notice I am not logged in or anything because I think I do have an account. I just don't remember it. But either way, it's not a platform that I'll ever be in. I think it's more of a young person's platform, but it's good to see that they have at least some guidelines, and knowing the fact that this guy does some stuff that is just inappropriate and just I don't know what he did. They won't say it or anything. But if they banned him, they're at least going in the right direction. So I think that's actually a good thing. Let me close those out. So, but there was a lot of there are some streamers that have started streaming and wanting to do that prank style kind of YouTube videos. And there was one guy that fresh out of high school or something. He was young. I don't think like he was either in his late teens or early 20s. And he did something similar. I don't know the whole story. I can't remember his name, but he ended up getting killed because of it, like during it. That's crazy. There was another guy that got shot, survived. He was bugging some guy that looked homeless, but he was shopping and he just wanted to be left alone, and he kept bothering that guy and walking up to him, and finally the guy in the middle of the mall pulled out a gun and shot him. Now the YouTuber survived the shot, and do you think that he learned his lesson? Nope. He went back to doing exactly the same stuff, and I don't understand that. No, his name is N3ON. Well, you know what I'm saying. That's the lead speak. I just can't take Kick seriously. And that's the thing is I don't think it's a platform for us. Our type of mind, our type of, you know, I'm not going to say our genre because we're all different, but we think a certain way, and it's not for us. It's definitely for a younger crowd. And it's definitely for a little bit of an edgier crowd, I would say. If I understand it, though, they don't really tend to enforce, no different than Twitch. So I've been following the bans that go on. Like they announce them on a Twitter account. I can't remember what it's called. And there seems to be a lot of bans going on Twitch. It's just the thing is, it's like before, it's like pick and choose. But I think even this guy, I think a very big streamer called Quinn, I think you guys know who Quinn is. He actually got banned recently too. I don't know why, but I think he just got banned yesterday. I think it's really hard to ban everyone or to be on top of that, regardless of which company you are. I think they need to have probably a team that is just sitting on policy control and constantly watching. But it's so hard when you think about the number of streamers that are out there. I mean, they can't watch every single one. There's got to be something that they put out there. I mean, the only way they get caught is if they get reported or they get viewed, you know, and they're like, oh, this is going on, or somebody tweets about it or talks about it. You know what I mean? That's the only way. But sometimes it's just luck of the draw. It's kind of like Etsy when you think about it. Like there's a guy on Etsy right now that's doing here, I'll show you. There's this guy here. Because I've been looking at people that are doing like these cutouts and stuff. So this guy here, Digital Zombie Design. He's actually in Houston, Texas. He's got about 2,200 sales. Let me refresh this system. I want to see. Yeah, he's got about 2,200 sales. And he does basically clip art files. And when you look through them, you won't be surprised that the majority of them are trademark infringement. If this is assuming he doesn't have a license, and I am making the assumption he doesn't have a license. He's got like DC, Marvel, freaking Nintendo, Harry Potter. Obviously, Star Wars is in there, which is owned by Disney anyways. He's got a bunch of different, I mean, Kratos is even there. Zelda, so Nintendo. And all of the stuff has got to be illegal. Now, I'm making an assumption. I don't know 100%. Unless this guy has a license for all of that, he is selling this stuff like hotcakes. And basically, I think his biggest seller is this one right here. And I got to be honest, there's something about this kind of approach that is good if you do this in the right way. Like one of the things, I'll give him props for this. One of the things that he did do is he has all these little individual bundles, like maybe a couple, like maybe 3. And then there's a bundle with, over 100 Christmas things. By the way, these are all like done in Midjourney or any other AI, most unlikely Midjourney. And so he has all these bundles of a bunch of clip arts, right? And then he's got some that are singular. They can just buy that one or the pirate clip art or whatever, as you can tell. But here's the smart thing. So then he takes all of that. Oh, wait, was that? Yeah, look at that. Even, is that Freddy's or Friday Night at Freddy's? Yep, there you go. Anyways, so he takes all of that and then he does this. The whole shop for $24.99. Even though it's 50% off, guys. But anyways, the whole shop for $24.99. Which one do you think is his biggest seller? The whole shop for $24.99. And that's where he's making his money because of the fact that he puts all these out there. Hey, you can get these for $3, $2, whatever. Or, hey, man, $24.99, you have access to all of them. And that is actually a smart thing to do, except the thing that he's doing wrong is it's copyright infringement. So, or trademark infringement. That's pretty messed up. So is this guy ever going to get caught? Who knows? People have to report him. Etsy's got to see them. But there's tons of people like this, even on Etsy, doing it. The prank guys have main character syndrome, and any attention is good attention kind of guys. Yeah, it really sucks. If I get too much mainstream media attention, they will get the hammer, but it takes a lot. Yeah, it does. It takes time. A whole lot of copyright strikes. Yep. Report him to Nintendo, Disney, they will go after him. Yeah. I keep my shop legal, yet these yahoos are getting sales and not getting banned. What country is in? He's here in the US. He's in Texas. He's in Houston, Texas. Disney and Nintendo will lawsuit bomb him if they find out. Yeah, and that's the thing. It's like they need to find out. It's like that. Listen. The guy has other things that are not copyright or trademark related. And if he stuck to that, he'd be okay. But the thing that really irks me is the fact that he is doing the wrong stuff, the trademark stuff, and getting away with it. And people are like, mind your business, stay in your lane, let people do what they want. Yeah, you're right. I'm not going to sit here and report him. It's not my job to do that. It does irk the hell out of me. I'm like, here's another person just taking advantage. Like Brink said, Brink's doing the right thing. He keeps his shop legal. I do the right thing. I keep my shops legal. And you know what? It doesn't matter because people do want Marvel. People want Marvel stickers. People want Marvel art. They want Disney. They want the classics. They want all that trademark stuff. They want the Disney stuff. They don't want to pay top dollar for it because of the fact that it is expensive to get real Marvel stuff or real, the toys and the real Disney stuff. I mean, if you guys have been to Disney World or Disneyland, you know how much it is to get a stuffed animal. It's pretty freaking expensive. Imagine a t-shirt. Yeah. So if somebody is making it unlicensed and selling it for cheap, you're going to be like, hell yeah, I'm going to get it, because you as a buyer are not going to get in trouble. You bought it, somebody's selling it. You're not going to get in trouble, but they will. If you try to sell it, then you'll get in trouble. It's crazy. I think I had a question on copyright that I was going to ask Brink. I have to remember what it was. As an Etsy seller, I can't report shops like this because I'm not the copyright owner that he is infringing on. Like, why the hell can I not report them for blatant copyright? I have reported somebody in the past, and what I do is I just write that they are breaking policies, and I choose that, and I think I chose like stuff that is prohibited, and then in the comments I put the comment of, this is trademark material. Why is this being allowed to be sold unlicensed? So, and that's all I do. I've done that before to someone that was like plainly obvious that they were doing it. It was just irking the crap out of me. I'm like, I'm just doing this once and that's it. I'm just going to get it out of the way. What I should like, I'd love to like have a conversation with these people and be like, yeah, I should make a fake account and be like, hey, I'm just curious. How are you getting away with selling illegal stuff? Because maybe they don't even know. This is the thing. Some people don't know that this is illegal. I don't know how that's possible, but how can you not know that when you sell something, that you create something that belongs to someone else, like a character I'm talking about? How can you say that's not illegal? You know what they try to get by? They say it's fan art. It's fan art. And I don't think you can sell fan art. I have a painting. So this girl. All right, so this is just a snow princess. This isn't nobody, like nobody known. But this artist, which I knew back then when I got it, she does Disney stuff. And I don't think she has a Disney license. And she used to do watercolor. In fact, I have two, I can't find them right now, but I have two small little portraits watercolored of the girls from Frozen, Anna and Elsa. And I think that the way she was selling, she was going to conventions selling them. And I think the way that she was doing it at the time, this was years ago. This was probably almost like 10 years ago. I think she was doing that as fan art. And that's how she was getting away with it. Yeah. And I don't know how. That's what they were doing. Reporting people in your lane, though, as an honest seller, they are hurting your business. Yeah, I agree. That's the thing. Tips at Disney. Oh, nice. Tips at Disney anti-privacy. Oh, man, I might have to send that. Nice. Thank you. I'm gonna hold on one second. Let me just put that in my notes here. And I might, maybe, I don't know if I'll do this guy, but it's nice to know where to send this stuff if you ever do decide to do this. Screenshot the shop's name. Oh, they know. Ignorance of a law is not a defense. It is not fair use. Fan art is 1,000,000% illegal to sell. Yes. Guys, by the way, I got like 15 minutes left. You can make it all day, but can't sell it. Exactly. Unless you get a license, which is not very easy to get. And it's true. And you know what's funny? Most of the time, this surprises me when it's in the US, because most of the time it's people from other countries that are doing it. Like Eastern Europe. I'm going to use those emails and spend like 2 hours a week reporting these jackasses, unless you get a license, which is not very easy. Yeah, no, it's crazy. So I know I'm gullible sometimes, but I think like maybe they don't know. Maybe they think that fan art is illegal, which is not. Like, I'll be honest. A long time ago, I used to think that fan art was legal to sell because I had people. So I had people that would commission me, and I think we talked about this before. Um, Back in the day, I used to draw comic books, and I used to do minor art here and there, and I sold a couple of pieces that were originals, but I wasn't like, I had my own style. So I'm not going to say I was like freaking Fat Cat and our friend Brink here, but I had my own style, and it was comic book art, and it was like a lot of X-Men stuff and things like that, Wolverine, different X-Men. And so people would ask me to draw something. They're like, hey man, I want to post like 24 by 36 of whatever, of some Venom or something. And could you do that? I'm like, yeah, absolutely. Sure. And they're like, yeah, I'll pay you for it. I'm like, all right, just pay me for my time. And they were friends. So then I would do the freaking art, and then I would get it on a frame for them, and they would pay for the frame, and they would pay me for my time. And that was people that I knew. Now, if you really think about it, that's technically illegal. But my understanding later on was that I was selling something that belonged to someone else. Now, I know my brother, for example, he used to do a lot of airbrushing, and he had a shop that he did airbrushing in, and he did kind of the same thing. He did a Venom canvas, a Venom on canvas with airbrushing, and it was amazing, and people wanted to buy it, so they bought it. Now, that again, it's illegal, but it's kind of a gray area. I don't know. It's really weird. I don't think it's gray anymore, but I think back in the day it used to be. Let's see. Redbubble has a program where you can submit art for licenses. I need to do that. That's a good idea. The people that sell the anime pins and stuff at cons find themselves in legal trouble a lot until they get schooled on how to get licensing. That's the thing. There are people that go to cons and they sell stuff hoping that they're not going to get in trouble, but it just takes that one time, man. And it's thousands of dollars of fines. More than you're going to make. Like, this guy has made maybe $3,000. Do you think it's worth that? His fines would be a lot more than $3,000. And it took him a year to make that $3,000 as a profit, I'm saying. Redbubble does licensed fan art. They will middleman you if you want. Oh, that's a good idea. Thanks, man. The bigger artists are at cons are mostly licensed. Yeah, like I only like buying from like the real comic book artists. When I go to them and I see them there with their artwork, that's what I'll do. And sometimes I'll get art that is not of a character, but if it's like, in other words, not of a trademark character. Like there's a painting that I have back there because you can't see right now, and it's from this lady that actually, yes, I know, I have a lunch appointment. Dismiss. There's this lady that is she draws great. I actually bought her book. Where is it? Hold on. Here it is. Okay. What is her name? Dawn McTeague, I think it is. She does like art like this. This is a whole book of her stuff. It's basically, I think she does comic book art covers, like art covers for the comics. That's Mary Jane, obviously. But she has some that are not of any character. Here's a cool one. Is that one? And so she's got a cool style. Anyways, it reminded me of my old days of comic book. And so I got it. So stuff like that, I don't mind getting, as long as it's somebody that's reputable that I know. Anyhow, all right, I've got like 15 minutes here, so let me move on. There was a couple other things that I wanted to talk about. Enshroud is going to be too big. We're going to wrap the Enshroud thing in another. In case you have no, I'll just touch base on this a little bit. In case you don't know, Enshrouded has gotten an official roadmap, which is actually great. And it's where the hell is it? I know I had it here somewhere. Here it is. This is beggar. Okay, I'm not going to read through it, but they have a roadmap that shows basically what's going to be done. And I've said this before. There's, I haven't I've been very obvious about this. I love the way Enshrouded has been really good at communicating. Like they let you know what's going on. And look at this early access roadmap for 2024. And they have all these different things. This is in your, by the way, if you haven't Shrouded, this is in Steam. It's in the Steam notes for the game. And you can read this and you can look through. And there's a bunch of improvements. There's Hollow Hall dungeons, Steam Deck support, performance movement, smoother high FPS rate, whatever. There's tons of stuff here. More trees to grow, things like that. But more importantly, there's actually going to be townsfolk NPCs, and there's going to be NPCs in the different towns, so they're not just at your base. And I think that's important to know. There's a lot of other things that they're doing, so make sure you check this out. But let me tell you, Enshrouded is definitely has a lot of potential, and they're definitely all in and making it happen. So if you're not playing Enshrouded, you should, or at least stay in touch with it so you can see the changes. And when it's ready to go, it's going to be a fun thing. New enemies and bosses. Oh man, there's so many different things going on in it, but it's really coming out to be a good game. I love the way that these devs work. Unlike some other developers that we know about, which just give us weekly dev updates, which literally says, I'm not kidding. Let me go to where's my Scum update? I'm going to read it from the screenshot. Literally says in this week's development update, hello all, happy Monday. Yep, you already know it's time for another dev update. A lot of work is being done. Some of it is still from last week, which we will show that it takes time to build up features. In any case, check it out. That's the update we get. And when we look at the updates, I don't want to get into this too much, but when we look at the Scum update and developer update, when we read it, it's almost exactly the same thing that they were working on last week. And this is when their weekly updates are vague and uninspiring and unnecessary. If you're just going to tell us we're still working on that, it's not an update. You know, if there's some progress, there should be some progress. If there's some teasers, there should be some teasers. And when you look at, here's the funny thing with Scum and the devs and how they're working now. Somebody said it in our Discord chat. They said they've probably have been told to shut their mouth and not report anything until they have something to report. Well, then the dev updates, the weekly updates need to stop. Because you go to their Twitter, their X, whatever you want to call it. You go there, and what used to be like a daily thing that would be updated with some features, some behind the scenes, some prototypes, whatever concepts, even questions, that's no longer there. They don't do it anymore. They're like mouth shut. And what we do see a lot more is their own developers or the people that work for them are actually streaming now. Like Matovsky is now streaming Scum and is constantly putting on his feed, going live, doing another whatever, blah, blah, blah. Boom, there they are. And they still have those handful of streamers that will still stream it. But you got to be honest. If you look at the numbers, and I know Brink sent me some numbers earlier last week, but if you start looking at the numbers, there are less people streaming it and less people playing it. And we're talking about bigger Scum names that have stopped streaming it. They're playing other things. Every once in a while, they might show up and try again, but then they go switch right back to another game. And that's what's happening. It's just, there is no good updates, nothing. And it's sad. I mean, these people are shooting themselves in the foot. I want to play Enshrouded, but we all got to get together. Yeah, when we play together, I think it's fun. Second month of new server with no logins. Let me know if you guys want to play so I can turn the computer back on. Yeah, sorry, brother. I'm kind of out of commission for a little bit. I want to play Enshrouded, but we got to all get together. You're gonna make me want to play that game, aren't you? Yes, you are. You have to be. If we have it, you have to have it. As long as if at least 3 people have it in the group, you got to get it. Says the person that pressured me to play Conan. Not me. I told you I would buy it for you because just in case we didn't play as much. If you aren't supposed to talk about stuff, then why is Tommy dropping leaks to random people still? That's the thing. Like, it's not even being sent on like Scum Games. It's actually being sent by Tommy in response to other people sometimes. And then you have to like dig through stuff to find this information. Like, that's some of the stuff that you put on yesterday. Like, for example, one of the things that Brink told me is that they are actually, there's a, where is that? If I can find it right here. Yeah, I guess here it is. So this was a response that he made to somebody. It says, exactly. By the way, I think that the new floating issue has already been solved. I guess they talked about the floating issue, but it's waiting for another planned feature for next week, the next weekly update. Yeah, okay. And for 1.0 version, although it was a full version, we should have a hybrid between the old and the new, so that benefits of both system could be used, to be continued. So based on a little bit background information, what we understand from this is the fact that they were going to allow us to have the ability to have our old system the way it works or the new system the way it works. And it's supposedly a toggle. Now, here's what's interesting. If I go to Scum, okay. If I go to Scum and I go over to general topic suggestions, I don't know where mine is, but I should be able, yeah, here it is. Okay, though this is not the one. There was another one that I put in. Yeah, this is the engine part. Well, there was another 15 thumbs up. Hey, nice. Anyways, that was me commenting on the engine thing, because, but somewhere along the lines, I mentioned the whole idea about there being a switch that would have been how the game was working with the puppets, and then the switch to turning on the new system. And there should have been that, and somehow or another it came out. I think this was the other one I talked about engines, how their cars with no engine is just stupid. And I was saying it should be parts that people find and put together, like all the different car parts. Anyhow, a lot of stupidity still happening on Scum. I don't see it changing anytime soon. I'm honestly hovering over the uninstall button, but I keep it there in case I have to test something. But truthfully, it's right now it's just downhill. And I know there's people that we still play it. Yeah, there's still people that play it. And there's still people that are like, say, oh, it's the greatest game ever. There's good things about the game. And as new players that come in and say they love it, is because they don't know any difference. If you get something that's broken, but it's new to you, you don't know it's broken because that's all you know. That's the thing. It's like when you meet that girl that everybody broke up with, but you didn't know that. And you meet her and then you find out she's crazy. And you're like, no wonder she's single. Now I know she's broken. No, it could be a guy too, by the way. I'm not saying just a girl. I'll get in trouble for that comment at some point. Let's see. I'm trying to look at, I got like 10 minutes left. No, I got 5 minutes left. Sorry. Oof. So the person pressure music. Oh, no. It's one of the bigger ones with like 30 viewers. I was talking about high pressuring me to get Conan. Yeah, that wasn't me. I prefer the term aggressive suggestion. Nice. I think they should reopen the refund window because the game they are making ain't the game I bought. That, it's funny because I thought about that, and at the same time I'm thinking, all right, when I bought the game it was $39.99, and I did buy it 3 times because I had separate accounts, and I had one that was for the server when I ran it, and or the bot system, I can't remember. But anyways, when I think of $39.99 and I played it for a year religiously, about a year and a half, I'd say, I got my $39.99 worth of it. This is where I don't buy any new DLCs, any support packs or anything like that. I bought them initially. They came with the game when I bought it for $39.99, and that's it. And I think I may have bought one other one just because I needed to hear Danny Trejo say all his funny sayings. And that's it. So I can say that the money that I spent for it, I've gotten my money's worth, but I'm no longer paying anything else for that game because it's not worth it. That's kind of where I'm at. Bought at $39.99, second at $19.99. Yeah, I think the second one I also bought for cheaper. I've gotten my money's worth, and that's where I'm fine, but it's not worth spending any more money on it. DLCs, microtransactions, anything like that. It's just not worth it. All right, let me see if I had anything else before I go. That's Enshrouded. I'm not going to go through Google News. Talked about the kick thing. I've been wondering where Face Roll Fatality is. He was a big Scum streamer. He's still, I guess he's still around and still plays. I haven't seen him stream in a long time, but he did post a picture of. Did you know that there were feral goats in Australia? I did not know this. And now, by the way, this might be, some people might be offended by this because it is. They were hunting feral goats because they are considered pests in Australia, and there's so many of them. In fact, he said this weekend they hunted and got rid of about 300 plus of them, and there were still more that didn't even make a dent in the numbers that they have. And the reason why they were doing it was because this farmland owner actually hired them to do it, I guess, and that's what they were working on because it was eating their crops and ruining their farmland. And this is an invasive species, I found out. And I know some people are against hunting and stuff, but this was more of a pest control thing. But when you think of goats, you don't think of them as pest control. But back down there, down under, they actually are. So this is the image of. It's highly sensitive, by the way, but just I gave you forewarning of what it is. So this is the goats that they're getting. Now, when I look at this, I'm like, these are farm animals, but supposedly they're feral goats. Now, I went through in Australia and I wanted to see some quick information, and it turns out here feral goats have established populations, variety of habitats across Australia. It competes with native fauna and causes land degradation, threatening plant and animal species and ecological communities. It's also says here they typically have fewer nature predators or fatal diseases, and some have high reproductive rates. So this is why their like populations out of control. They do say that it is a bad species. Basically, it's considered a pest in Australia. And I did also look at what are some of the predators for goats, because we have the same thing here, except they're up in the mountains. But the difference is that we have mountain lions, coyotes, bobcats, and domestic dogs that basically take them out. So they don't have that type of animal or predator down in Australia. So this is where they've basically have gone all over the place. But it's pretty crazy when you think about that stuff. Anyways, that was Face Roll. I miss Face Roll. He's freaking crazy, but I love the guy. He's completely different than me, but he's still interesting. Let me see. I see Face Roll taking scum on Twitter, talking scum on Twitter from time to time. Yeah, so he does a lot of reposting, and he'll comment on a lot of scum things. He's a big believer in scum. I would love to get his reaction, his real honest reaction of what he feels like about the game right now. I might have to reach out to him and ask him and see if he would. I don't know if he'll do it. Maybe he'll feel like he'll get in trouble or something, because he is a big promoter for them, especially in Australia. Like pet pythons in Florida. Oh yeah. Yes, there's a lot. They usually have, there's a specific time of year where they have people go out and hunt the pythons in the Everglades and in all over Florida, South Florida. It's crazy. All right, guys, that is it for me. A couple of things I'll share with you real quick before I go. A little promotion here. I did update my stores, Nordwolf Designs, Nordwolf Digital, and Nordwolf Prints. And I've been doing a collection of printables, and I grabbed a couple of those and made them into canvas ready to ship. And so they are throughout the shops. Like this is just an example of some of the ones that are up there right now. This is a style that I like, that I've kind of been pushing right now. This is the newest collection. Of course, there's going to be different styles later, but this is kind of a watercolor / oil impasto style paintings. And they're available as prints for you to print out on your own printable. as well as they are available as a canvas on some of them. So you can actually get these. And of course, they're a lot more expensive when you're getting the canvas, but they're beautiful canvases. Check them out. And also, I've gotten into doing this clip art. I just started with these. This is going to be something that's I'm going to build more of, and obviously I'm going to have a lot more quantity, but I just started out with these. So they're there on these different shops. Somewhere along the lines, I think I do leak my shops here and there. So if you're interested, you'll find out, or reach out to me and I'll tell you where to find them. And eventually I will be giving some of these things away. In fact, I've got a Nordwolf t-shirt that I'm working on that's just going to be the Wolfpack t-shirt with the logo that I use on my bio. So that's going to be there. So we will see. Nothing naturally is to take them out except the occasional large gator. Yeah, that's what's happening in South Florida. Anyways, guys, this was fun. I'm glad I got a chance to come out here and just say hi, let you know what's going on. I will probably try to do a stream tomorrow, a little bit of a gaming stream if I get a chance, depending on if everything goes okay. I am going to be taking a road trip soon, so I will be out and about. So I'm going to be unpredictable when it comes to streaming next week, but I will try to do what I can and keep in touch with everybody. This is what happens, you know, spring break is here and things happen. But I'm glad I got the chance to drop in. I miss you guys. Things are better. I'm okay. The doggy's okay. So we'll be back into control and everything will be smooth sailing very soon. Until then, you know where to find me. People that care, you know where to find me. So I will talk to you guys later. Have a great day. Do something fun. Until next time, take care of yourself. Make yourself happy. Don't hurt anybody else or yourself. Everything's good. I'll see you soon. I'm out. Peace.